Arsenal versus AC Milan happening tomorrow. And look, it's pre-season, but I do think it's important to get a result, mostly to pick up on form, get a bit of momentum going into the season. Um, and look, I'm not going to be too heartbroken if we don't get a result, but naturally I'm going to be wanting us to win. Now with AC Milan, I understand that last season they finished, I think, eighth in the league table. I think they finished eighth, anyways. And I don't know anything they've done in the transfer market. But look, I've always said you can never go into any game. You can never underestimate your opponent. I'm just expecting to go into this, just bag some goals. Hopefully, we can get a good start into this preseason. But look, it's also a good opportunity for us as well to look at how our old players, how they're going to do coming into the new season, as well as how our new players, how they've adapted to our squad. I'm especially looking at players like Odegaard, Zubamendi, and Bukayo Saka as well. I only really say Bukayo Saka because in the England game, didn't play very well. I don't know if he's playing with a knock or not, but he's a player that I definitely need to want to pay attention to. And Odegaard as well. I didn't think he had a really fantastic season last season, but it could have just been a squad thing. So, let's consider now what we're going to think about with this Arsenal squad. But I don't know if Christian Mosquera is going to be part of this Arsenal squad, at least this game. I don't know if he's been announced yet. I don't know if he was part of the group going out. I hope he was, but I'm not sure if he was. And we also know that Victor Gyökeres as well won't be joining us until at least, I believe, the Tottenham Hotspur game. But regardless, at this point I'm just happy that we got him over the line. However, saying that, even if we've been given the here we go, now that I've had a bit of time to calm down and really think about it, one thing I know Sporting is about this Tottenham player. They wanted to sell a player to Tottenham. What was his name again? I can't remember, but I know he was given the here we go to Tottenham, and then Sporting suddenly came in, and then all of a sudden they moved the goalpost again. I'm hoping they don't do this to us. I'm genuinely hoping they just let the medical go out, pen gets put to paper, we get our announcement, and he's off to play against Spurs in the preseason. But again, it will be interesting to see as well how Gyökeres fares in this new Arsenal squad. If he can kick off immediately, or if he's going to take a bit of time. For one, I have faith in him as a player. I think he's going to play for the badge. He might need to do a bit of adjusting, or maybe we need to do a bit of adjusting around him. One of the two. But listen, even if he's played in the Portuguese league, which is not as intense as the Premier League, even then he still put away so many goals, and you don't score those goals in any league whatsoever if you don't know where the back of the net is. And that is what we have been lacking. Someone who can just find the back of the net. Now we understand as well that he used to bully a lot of defenders in the Portuguese league. I'm curious to see if that can translate well to the Premier League as well. If he can bully defenders in the Premier League, I hope he can. Because those defenders, they're on a much higher level than the Portuguese league. But I do have hope for him. I do have hope. As well, I also do want to see a little bit of Christian Mosquera. I want to see as well how talented he really is, and if he can really compete against against the likes of Saliba. But for now, I don't think he's in the squad yet. So I'm gonna hold out on anything that I say about Mosquera. But I will have to say, starting in this preseason, it has been so long since we have played a football match. Well, an open football match that us fans can watch. Actually, I understand that we had a game against Watford, and we beat them, I think, 3-0. Norgard was one of them who scored a bicycle kick apparently, and that's exciting already. But anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about the squad that I think we're going to play. And it's going to be starting off in goal, David Raya. Who else? I think David Raya, he's got great shot-stopping ability. He can catch the ball very comfortably. The thing that I noticed last season is his distribution to the ball. It made me age a year every time he kicked a ball. I think that is something he has had to work on, his distribution of the ball. And if he has worked on that, and if that's improved, then I think he can be an absolute class goalkeeper. But he's a shot stopper, and he's a catcher of the ball, and no one can really take that away from him. But again, his distribution does need work. In our defence, I'm going to see Saliba and Gabriel. It's been the centre-back partnership of Arsenal for the longest while now. And honestly, I wouldn't replace them for anyone, really. I think Saliba has that kind of calm around him. He's kind of calm, cool-headed. Yes, he did make a few mistakes, though, in the season. And I do think that was more so lack of confidence. Hopefully that's been sorted out over the end of the season. But Gabriel, on the other hand, he's a lot more aggressive, a lot more, up in your face. And I can appreciate that in a defender, as well as a defender who can score a header from a corner. But those are my centre-back pairings. On the left, I'm debating between Lewis Skelly and Calafiori. I would say that as much as I enjoy watching Calafiori play, he's too injury prone. The man's made of glass. But I do look forward to potentially seeing what he can add to the squad a little bit more. But for now, I'm going to stick with Lewis Skelly. And on the right, it's going to be Jurrien Timber. I think between Jurrien Timber and Ben White's a better attacking player, but Timber's the more solid defender. Moving on to the midfield, I'm going to start us off with Zubimendi. It kind of has to be him, really. He's been the player that we've been looking at for the longest while now, and genuinely, I'm really excited to see him play officially in his first official Arsenal game. I'm really excited to see what he can do. I'm really excited to see what he can do defensively and how solid he can be and how he can move the ball over to our wingers. And I'm also excited to see the partnership between him and Declan Rice, who I'm also going to start. And Zubimendi is absolutely going to give Declan Rice a lot more freedom. A lot more freedom to go forward, to be a bit more aggressive, to push a bit further, closer to the box. And alongside that is going to be our captain Odegaard. Again, I don't think he had the greatest of seasons last season, but I do think he can improve. But it was more so a confidence hit that he had after a bad injury. But with that season done and dusted and all in the past, I'm hoping to see an improved Martin Odegaard, because we know what potential he has. In the attack, I'm going to say Bukayo Saka. Um, I don't really need to say much about Bukayo Saka. He's our star boy. Again, I think recently he's dropped off form a little bit, but he does have that special talent that we really need to bring out of him again. So let's hope that this game can bring out the confidence of Bukayo Saka that we need. On the left wing, I've gone with Martinelli. I think Martinelli's work rate is absolutely undeniable. Um, he will run up and down a pitch for you. He's just as good helping you defend the ball as he is going forward in that position. I will, however, critique him and saying that he's a bit predictable when he gets over to the edge of the box. Typically, he slows down, takes a few seconds, and then tries to go around the defender every time. And I do think he needs to kind of learn to kind of just do something different. Maybe cut in or maybe try and find a cross immediately, depending on the situation. And in the attacking position, I've gone with Kai Havertz. And this is considering that we don't have Gyökeres officially yet. And again, we probably won't have him at least until the Tottenham Hotspur game. But Kai Havertz will be in that position, and I'm curious to see if his bulking, because we have seen the pictures of him looking really muscular, I'm curious to see if that's going to affect his game. But that's my starting lineup for now. I'm hoping for a win. Again, it's all about momentum for this. But let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will be seeing you in the watch along for this game. Goodbye.